Can children become too empathic? Some parents worry about this and they often share their concerns with me right after I've been talking about how important it is that children do develop empathy in childhood. Perhaps you have a child who feels other people's emotions very deeply. There's very often a real tenderness there that you don't want to lose. But at the same time, you can see that it might be costing them something. And that can be worrying for parents. So I'm going to address those concerns in this video and suggest what you can do to help your child develop a healthy capacity for empathy without losing themselves along the way. Hi, I'm Jess Kingsford, and here at Happy Hearts Parenting, we help kids thrive through connection, kindness, and contribution. Because right now, more and more kids are struggling with mental problems. And yet the research is clear. Kids thrive when they feel seen and valued, when they know they have something to give, and when they know that what they do in the lives of others matters. So let's get into it. Okay, before we get into this, I just want to gently set aside one version of this conversation that you might have come across. An empath is often talked about as someone who experiences other people's emotions so intensely that it becomes overwhelming and all-consuming. There's been quite a bit written about empaths, including suggestions around some possible causes like genetics, environmental factors, and even childhood trauma. But that's not what I'm focusing on in this video. This isn't about extreme or clinical cases of emotional sensitivity. It's about something much more common, much more everyday. Children who are very empathic, very caring, but who haven't yet learned how to manage that empathy in a way that also protects their own well-being. Being highly empathic without those skills can show up in a couple of ways. First, children can seem saturated by the emotions of others. They don't just notice someone else's sadness, they absorb it completely. They carry it around with them all day. And that can become really exhausting and distressing, both for them and for you. Second, kids can start to always prioritize other people's feelings and needs at the expense of their own. They might struggle to express what they actually need because they don't want to upset anyone. So what can we do if these are the kinds of things that we're noticing in our child? Well, what we don't want to do is discourage them from experiencing empathy for others. And here I just need to remind you of how important it is that children do develop empathy in childhood. Research consistently shows that stronger empathic skills are linked to more pro-social behavior, stronger relationships, and better social competencies, and also lower aggression and antisocial behavior. So if you're noticing that your child is very empathic, the goal isn't to dial that down. Instead, it's to help them use that in a way that supports their care for others, their connection with others, but that doesn't overwhelm them or pull them away from their own needs. And there are lots of ways that you can do this, but I'm just going to share with you a few. The first is simply helping them understand that other people's feelings can be felt without them taking up residence inside us. So you might say something like, you really seemed to feel Tommy's sadness today. That was so caring of you. You know, his sadness can come into you, but then it can move through you. You don't have to hold on to it inside you. Saying those kinds of things can help kids stay open without getting stuck in someone else's state. The second thing is helping them turn their empathy into compassionate action. As one researcher has said, empathy is the spark that ignites compassion. So you can guide your child when you see them feeling another child's sadness by saying things like, let's think of one small thing you can do for them. Maybe you could draw them a lovely picture or invite them around to play. These suggestions can help kids learn that they don't have to simply passively absorb other people's feelings. Instead, they can actively respond to them. And the third thing is helping them balance caring for others with caring for themselves. Highly empathic kids can become a little too outward focused. So now and then we want to help them bring their needs back into the picture. You can say things like, I can see that you really care about your friend, and I'm also wondering how you're feeling right now. Let's talk about what you need. We're showing them that they don't have to choose between caring about others and looking after themselves. They can actually do both of those things at the same time. So, to recap, if you're raising a child who is deeply empathic, that's something to value and protect. Empathy is what allows children to care about and connect with others. And remember, empathy isn't just about sharing in difficult emotions. Children can enjoy feeling empathy in moments of excitement and joy just as much as in moments of sadness. Empathy is important, and when children learn to experience empathy in a way that's healthy and balanced, it can become something that strengthens them, not something that depletes them. If you found this video helpful, check out some of our other videos so that you can help your child thrive through connection, kindness, and contribution. Thanks for watching and happy parenting. I'll see you next time.